And now let's take a look at Karina. We got a preview of Karina. Let's see how she is in game. You know, her animation here does look pretty nice. I think just looks wise, she probably looks the coolest of the four, of the other three, right? Of the other three collaboration Espa units. She is an ice knight, ice elemental knight. You know, I was thinking warrior. I was kind of hoping for warrior, but I mean, we haven't gotten a knight in a while. We've been in the warrior meta for quite a bit. So, I mean, I guess this is fine, right? Knight, ice knight unit. The very first thing that everybody's going to think is she a wyvern tank, right? Is she a wyvern tank? So let's find out. She has 110 base speed, which is actually not too bad, but she is still kind of slow, okay? She has some 18% effectiveness. Her imprint concentration is defense, so she's giving herself defense. She has about 650 defense here and 6.7k health, so kind of tanky. All right, so let's move into skill number 3. I'll blow you away. Attacks the enemy by slamming them with a fist, decreasing defense for 2 turns before increasing speed of the caster for 2 turns. A successful attack will deal additional damage proportional to the caster's defense to all enemies. So she's a defense scaling unit, deals additional damage. So the higher her defense, the more additional damage proc she's going to get. Damage now increases proportional to the caster's defense. So you're going to want her built with as much tank as possible, right? She does get a speed buff, so you could potentially make her a little bit slower, right? Speed buff is what, 30%? 30% speed, something like that. So that's kind of okay damage, right? Now keep in mind, she is a tank. So, I mean, she's not gonna cleave, right? So let's see here. So she dealt about 14k to this Arrowell because she's soaking up. She's the sponge for the rest of the team. She did 12,000 damage to this Chu. Okay, that is a lot of damage. They have her at 16k HP though. So maybe they have her on like a speed build speed, or you know what? It's because I'm thinking that she's HP scaling, right? She's not. She's defense scaling. So she's going to want to be built kind of like Lionheart Sermia, right? Where you try to hit that at least 15k HP and then 2k defense, like around that stat threshold, right? 14 to 15k HP plus, and then 2k defense or more. So I think that is probably where they have her built around, at least we think, right? Rocket Punch, her skill number 2, when health of an ally except for the caster after being attacked is 50% or less, increases combat readiness of the caster by 35%. And so this, to me, gives her the ability to be built a little bit slower, right? This also activates Leave It To Me. If you fully mola this is going to go up to 50% combat readiness push. So she gets up to a 50% CR push, and then she increases defense for 2 turns of herself and grants a barrier to all allies. Barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's defense. So, I mean, this could be used for like anti-cleave, right? If they're not able to take you out, then she procs, right? She activates her defense buff and she gives everybody a barrier. There's no cleanse in here though. It would have been nice, I think, if they would have given her a cleanse, because it would have kept her from like getting stun locked or provoked, right? Or silenced. So it gives her the ability to provide more support, right? But let's see, you know, what they show us here, because this can only be activated once every 3 turns. And if we're giving up speed for HP and defense, I think it's going to be tough to give her a lot of other stats, right? Because she gets that CR push there. Let's see, she gets the CR push from the U-Haul, right? And the defense buff, which, I mean, it's going to make her even more tanky. All right, let's take a look at skill number 1, Expose. Attacks the enemy with a fist with up to a 75% chance to decrease defense for 1 turn. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's defense. So again, defense scaling unit. I was hoping for HP, but it's fine. 10 souls increases effect chance to 100%. So you can defense break for 2 turns for 100%, and that's 10 souls, right? That's not too bad. That's actually really good value. Anytime I see 10 souls, it usually adds really, really good value because you don't have to wait an extra few turns to be able to get this soul burn off. I think that she has a pretty decent balance of support and damage, right? Because you get that little extra proc, right? The Uberius proc there. You get the rocket punch, and she does about 8k. And then whoever's up next can follow up and potentially get the kill because you got a defense break. So that's not too bad. But keep in mind that building defense or a lot of defense on a unit is tough, okay? If you ever try to build Lionheart's Hermia, Designer Lilibet, Arya is another unit, Fighter Maya is another unit that needs a lot of defense. It's tough, especially if you don't have the kind of gear that you need that's specific to defense scaling units. But the great thing about Karina is she doesn't need crit. She doesn't need crit damage, right? All she needs is potentially some effectiveness, right? If you really want to land that defense break, but full defense HP speed, right? If you only need those 3 stats, she should be theoretically easier to build. Let's take a look at her Rocket Punch Gauntlet, right? This is her limited artifact. Now, this is the one that I mentioned earlier that you might need to buy the copy of or an additional copy of, because I really think that you're going to want to limit break this. And what this does is, after attacking with a single attack, has a 100% chance to inflict additional damage to the target. Additional damage increases proportional to the caster's defense. So as you saw, she did 8k damage on her S1. But this is only going to scale for now with her. This is a night exclusive artifact. It's an Uberius Tooth, but for defense, but for knights. That already makes it too specific, right? So if you can only pick up one, later down the line, it might be worth. If you get very lucky with this artifact, this I think is going to be her best in slot, unless you decide to build her full support, right? Dealing some damage on the S3, and then you slap her with Elber's Ritual Sword, just so that you can get some more defense breaks in. Keep in mind she doesn't have provokes. You could put her on Arias, but then she doesn't have a lot of HP, right? She's a defense scaling unit, so she has the potential to die, to get one-shotted if you're not very, very careful. But I think this artifact does look really, really strong. I might try to pick up multiple copies of this, actually, because it's going to give her the ability to deal a lot of damage and put a lot of pressure, especially if you're trying to fully maximize her damage. But I think that she's going to have a kind of a good balance in game. She is dropping on December 22nd. So let me know your thoughts about Karina, Giselle, the rest of the Espa collab units. Have you been able to pull all of them so far? Who is your favorite? I guess I'm really leaning towards Karina aesthetically, everything that she has so far. But each of the other Espa units really has something in their kit that makes them, I think, unique. This defense scaling, insane amount of damage bruiser type of unit is kind of interesting. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like always, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.